Characters evolve during the course of rehearsal. Every repetition that we go through makes the actors more familiar with what they're saying, what they're doing. It gets them better in touch with their characters. So by the time we get to the final dress rehearsal, they actually become that character.
I'm Carol Alderson and I'm the director, and I'm back again. Tonight we ran Act 3. See, Act 3 is back to the chambers of Sir Wilfrid. So that's scene 1, and scene 2 is a scene change. That is the back to the courtroom. Honesty, drama. It has the courtroom scene is the most. The last courtroom scene is the most dramatic, and so that's what I'm looking for from the characters. For the most part, I'm the kind of director that would like to follow what's in the script, but that can change because of the set construction. So if we see a movement while we're blocking the scene, which means this is when we move one actor from one side of the stage to the other and sit down, stand up, and greet and do that sort of thing. If I see a movement that doesn't look quite right, then I will make the movement myself. I will tell them how I need it to be blocked. So as we're rehearsing the scene, and we have actors and characters in their spots on stage, when it starts to move, I want to see fluid movements. I want to make it look as natural as possible. But on the stage, if there is a dramatic moment or something gets revealed for the first time, usually it involves some sort of movement.
Yeah, but in contrast to what we were doing in Act 1 in the office scene where you were more stationary, I like that you're being more mobile here because it's showing the frustration of what just happened to you in the courtroom. So I'm liking that contrast.
I have been assistant director before, but this is the first time where I've had an entire scene turned over to me where I actually function as full director, where I'm doing the blocking and I'm dealing with the actors on character development and why are you doing what you're doing, etc. You have to help these actors convey reality. Even though it's certainly not reality, what you're trying to do is help them convey reality and give them a framework for making their performance look realistic to the audience. And if you can help them do that, and then they bring that to the audience, then the audience can suspend their disbelief. It's like watching a movie, only it's better because they're a real person. You can see the shadows, and you get even more feedback from the audience that way.
My name's Josh Fontaine. I play Leonard Vole, the accused. I am on trial for murder of an elderly rich woman who I befriended before she died and apparently have no other alibi but my wife. When I come to rehearsals, aside from memorizing my lines, I'm really trying to get inside Leonard's head. A lot of what this is with Leonard is a bewilderment. He's the type of guy who is very smart, but he comes off very naive about the entire process, like he doesn't understand the weight of the situation that he's in. And so I really have to get my head inside that kind of a character, really stand there and be shocked and in awe, while at the same time somewhat have an idea of what's going on. It's kind of like a dual personality almost when I'm up there. As far as from the director, I really want to get a sense of what she's hoping the audience feels from my performance. I really, as much as I want to put myself into a character, which I love doing because it makes a character your own, I also want to make sure that the director has their vision told in their way.
Michelle Rogers, I'm playing Romaine Vole.
And I'm David Hopcroft, I'm playing the role of Sir Wilfrid Robarts. In these early rehearsals, it's a little more difficult because we're still manipulating our books and learning our lines and so forth. But the process of walking through the scenes, even when we're dealing with all those distractions, is a very important part of figuring out not just who our character is, but how we're relating to the other characters on the stage.
I agree. You have to be able to feed off the other actor playing that character. It's easier with some more than others, depending on the level of experience or where they are in their process and where you are in yours. And as he says, when you develop that together, it makes it more fluid and it flows and it's interesting to watch. You have an idea already as to what you think based on the script, and then you get the vision of the director It may be different, it may be close, and then you see how it works with all the other characters. Because when you're reading the play, you have a different vision of what the other characters are like. So it's interesting to see them come to life.
One of the things I really like, and one of the things I'm finding very nice about this cast, is that people are very quickly getting into responses, getting into moments where there's real connection happening. Nobody's just up there trying to learn their steps and learn their lines. They're really using that exercise to figure out what's going on.
It's going phenomenally well. I have a very fantastic group of people on stage. They are very instinctive. Sometimes they'll move on a line and it looks great. And then when we run the scene again, they'll move on another line, which looks great also. So they're using their instincts. We've got the blocking. They're working on their characters. So from now on, it will be just tweaking the scene. And then, of course, once we start adding all the props, then that will change a little bit too.
It's a constant evolutionary process, and it's fun to watch, and it's fun to participate in, and it's certainly, I hope, fun for the audience to watch as well.